Hey guys, Jembu here and welcome back to another episode of Bloodhunt Central. Today we're going to look at the anti-cheat fix that's just gone into place, and we're also going to cover some of the more negative side of what's going on with cheaters, etc. at the moment. And with that, let's jump right in. So before we get into today's video, I just wanted to say a huge thank you to everybody who's following the channel. The last week and a half has been absolutely insane with the amount of new subscribers and followers that we've got both on Twitter and on Twitch. So thank you very much. It means an awful lot. I do like to see the number of views, likes and such like that. I also like to see the amount of comments that I get on the YouTube. I do try to go through all the YouTube comments and either answer them when I can or at least give some feedback. So thank you very much. So let's cover the elephant in the room. The game's been out for just over a week now, and we're seeing how Sharkmob is handling their first early release game as a company. We've seen how they take on board player feedback and how they increase the XP gain for the battle pass so that we weren't advancing so slowly. And this meant that we've seen quite a few streamers over the weekend pass the 100 or complete the battle pass. And they've done this by getting 1 to 200 wins and like 2,500 to 3,000 kills. Shout out to Etnix and Vikan, who are two of the streamers that I watch, and they've both done that. So if you haven't checked them out, I'll leave the links in the description below. We've also seen them address the main issue that's going on at the moment, and that is cheaters and hackers and the dreaded anti-cheat. Now, that's our main topic for today. Sharkmob has worked hard over the last week to implement fixes into the anti-cheat system, which has resulted in a patch today, which was about 30 meg. And the aim of that fix is to fix the issues that you've got with the anti-cheat being uninstalled when you uninstall the game, so that it makes sure that all the files go. Also that it does close properly after you've quit the game. Yes, people will say that this shouldn't have happened, but it is an early access game, and there are bound to be hiccups and bugs and issues that tend to crop up. But you are likely to get that when a game goes from having a couple of hundred people to then having tens of thousands of people play the game. Sharkmob's also advised that they're in what they've called learning mode, and this is basically in the early access where the developers in the anti-cheat are looking at what cheats are being implemented into the game and learning on how to prevent them from being used in future. The thing with anti-cheats, and I'm sure a lot of the more hardcore gamers will understand this point of view, is that with an anti-cheat, it's like a cat chasing a mouse. The hackers use new hacks so that the anti-cheat then will detect them, and the developers will work together to deploy a fix so that that cheat can't be used again in the future. The hacker will then not be able to use this cheat, and they will just change the cheat, get a new cheat, find a new way to exploit the game, and then it'll all happen all over again. The developers in the anti-cheat will look to prevent this and ban hackers, and then they'll find a new way around it. And it's like a cat chasing a mouse all the time. So while there might be hackers in the beginning, the anti-cheat is still learning, and developers are still learning as well with what is happening to the engine. And this will continue to happen, but hopefully the time that we get hackers will become shorter and shorter as the anti-cheat learns and the fixes become a lot quicker. Now I want to be real for a moment, and that's looking at the reviews that the game is getting on Bloodhunt. And yes, while everybody has their own right to their own opinion, and I understand that and respect that, looking at the negative reviews that we're getting, I would say that 90% of them are due to what the reviews are calling Chinese spyware. Now I ask you this, do you think that Sharkmob would waste 5 years of developing a game to put a piece of Chinese spyware on your computer? For me, it's a no-brainer. I don't think they would. The reason I think that people are calling it Chinese spyware is, one, you couldn't close it down at some points. There was bugs and the software was left running after it was closed or uninstalled. Granted, that's not the best. And 2, that Sharkmob is owned by Tencent. And if you don't know who Tencent is, they are the largest video game publisher in the world, and they're based in China. Now, I think it's more the fact that Tencent is the owner of Sharkmob that's put in the fear into people that it is Chinese spyware. But let me put this into perspective for the doubters. How many games companies do you think that Tencent have a stake in? I can tell you for sure, while owning Sharkmob, they also own Riot Games, which are the guys that brought you League of Legends and Valorant. They also own Funcom Games. They have a large stake in Grinding Gears, which is the guys that brought you Path of Exile. And they also have large stakes in Epic and Bluehole Games. And these are only to name a few. After all, they are the largest publisher in the world. Now, the last 2 companies are good to highlight as these have Battle Royale games. Epic created Fortnite and Bluehole created PUBG. Something in common that League, Valorant, Fortnite and PUBG have is that at one time or another, they've been accused of having spyware. Because their anti-cheat uses a kernel system, which means that the computer can see everything to determine whether a cheat is being used or not. And this is the same as Bloodhunt. I can see why people are skeptical because of the issues that we've had in the first week with the anti-cheat, but I would hazard a guess that most of the players, or a lot of the players that are playing Bloodhunt, have also either played League, Fortnite, or PUBG, or even gone into Valorant. So while Sharkmob are working to get everything right, we need to realize that there are going to be bumps in the road along the way because this is their first game and it is a brand new anti-cheat system. But they are using what they're learning to try and get rid of the hackers as fast as they can. Now, to end the video on a high, I just want to congratulate you guys over at Sharkmob for having an all-time peak record of nearly 20,500 players. And the fact that the servers seem to be running absolutely fine, which meant that we didn't need the maintenance that you had planned on the 14th. That's about it for this video. I've got a busy week ahead of me, so I may not upload as much as I want to. But going on from next week, I plan on streaming over on Twitch 2 to 3 times a week. And I am doing the whole what's in the store tweet. So if you want to see that when you haven't been able to log into the game, go follow us over on Twitter. And please consider hitting the like and subscribe button and following us for future videos. Thank you very much, guys, and I'll see you in Prague.